I'm here with Fergal Murray, Master Brewer of Guinness, and he's here in San Diego to promote Guinness Black Lager, a new product. And can you start off by telling us a little bit about why San Diego was chosen as one of the markets to carry Black Lager?
Oh, yeah, San Diego's a great beer market. I mean, there's lots of fantastic beers being consumed locally here. People know beer in San Diego. Great demographic. You know, the right type of people, the affluent society. You know, it's a premium beer, so we want to see what, you know, how it fits in with that sort of demographic and how it fits in with that segment of the market. So San Diego's perfect for that. And I think the beer knowledge that's around is helpful as well to understand what premium beers are about. So perfect place to learn how to be as a test market for us.
Agreed. And this beer is testing here as well as in Chicago.
Chicago's a metropolitan, you know, more of a metropolitan sort of city type thing. Different segment, different, but same sort of affluent sort of beer people who enjoy great beer. And it'll give us another input into the test to see what are consumers saying about it and how they're enjoying it and what they're talking about it, because that's what it is. The journey is on a test when you're trying to run the beer out. Is we believe it, we love it, we think we're so excited. We just love that whole transformation to happen with the markets as well. So, and that's the journey we're on. And so far it's so good, it's brilliant. The response, people are very excited about it. And the input from Chicago and the input from San Diego will help us then decide, you know, what's next.
And when will it be available nationwide?
I think those questions just have to be answered. That's you know, it's just at that crux moment now. That's just before St. Patrick's Day. We're just looking forward to seeing how everybody responds. This is a peak moment for us, so it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be short. It's very soon, though. I think we're very happy where it is. We're in good shape, and it's just dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Okay. So can you explain a little bit about how the Black Lager is brewed and the taste
sure. It's not something we've been doing just came out of the blue. We've done a lot of research.
Okay.
You know, we've been around 250 years, so we've been making lots of beers over the years, and we haven't just been making our famous Guinness Stout, Draft Guinness, and Foreign Extra Stout and Extra Stout. We've also been dabbling in, you know, assessing how to make great tasting lagers. So you know, so there's been in the pipeline. So, but making a lager, we have great heritage in doing that. We've been doing hop lager for 50 years. So what we've done is we've taken the lager process, you know, with our unique Guinness lager yeast, and we've started to match our stout character with the lager process. And when we've been testing that out, we've been making sure that we got the right, you know, brewing capability in the brewery, and then brewing the resultant product gave us the right fantastic sort of flavour match. So we've done that, and now this is what's happened. This is where it's come out. We've got this blend of a lager process with the Guinness character being added in at the later stage in the brewing process, which makes it absolutely gorgeous. Combines that, you know, refreshment that gets from the lager taste, but also then that character and flavour that comes through that you get when you have a great tasting, great looking Guinness. Magic blend of the two, you know. And yeah, we're very proud of it. You know, and we're looking forward to sort of, you know, the reaction that the crowds are going to have. I mean, we think it's a fantastic product, definitely a sensation to drink. But we just want people not to be confused with the fact that there is Guinness Stout. That's a draft format. It's not going to change. The guys are going to go to pints in the great pubs downtown. You know, you had fantastic pints of Guinness down there. It's not trying to take that place. This is a separate product. It's sort of separate niche. It's targeted for different type of people, but you know, it's like you get a lager with something else. You know?
Do you drink this out of the bottle?
Oh yeah, this is. I mean, I think most people who drink premium beers, they tend to drink out of the bottle.
Okay.
I mean, you can pour it. It'll look black, it'll look dark, it'll look fantastic. But you know, yeah, I'm going to pick up a 6-pack and I'll be bringing home the barbecue back. You know, just, you know, sipping it like that, be beautiful. Yeah.
Do you think this is a beer for Guinness drinkers, or is it a beer for people that don't necessarily
it's
Guinness drink?
It's a great question. You know, there'll always be a place for Guinness drinkers of Guinness, but the Guinness drinkers will always want to have something else as well. It's about finding an occasion. I mean, I know when I'm a Master Brewer of Guinness. You know, I love my pint of Guinness. You know, I love going to a pint. I know exactly when I love those pints. I now know exactly when I'm going to have a lovely glass of black lager as well. You know, different types of occasions, you know, different atmospheres, different styles of, you know, you don't have to go down to the pub and watch the game and have pints all the time. But so Guinness drinkers can adapt, and they probably do already. They probably have many of the local beers at different occasions. Nothing's going to replace that moment you get a wonderful poured, crafted ritual of a craft pint of Guinness being poured. I mean, that can never be replaced because that's so special. But they're always good, and always 6-pack at home. You know, you've just been out doing a bit of work in the garden or something like that, bit of workout. You know, just crack one of these open, chill it back, and just
Sounds good. Now, I'm only familiar with this type of Guinness. Are there other types of Guinness that live under the Guinness label as well?
Yeah, we fundamentally Guinness has two stout variants across the globe. So you're talking global here. We have an extra stout, which is a carbonated product, and that can come in various alcohol contents depending on the markets around the world. And then there's draft Guinness, which is the nitrogenated process, which you get in keg, bottle, and in can. And what you've got to try to do in the draft process is you've got to initiate the gas bubbles, make them come alive in the glass. So from a keg perspective, we have the speed of the beer coming along the beer line, hitting the restrictor plate in the tap, and it explodes in the glass coming alive. You get the cascade and surge and the build of the head. In the can and the bottle, you've got a widget that does that. So the initiation of the gas bubbles happens in the container, and when you pour it, then it comes and surges and settles and creates that wonderful creamy head. So that's the draft format that gives you that wonderful texture in the mouth. The nitrogen gives you a texture that's smoother. The smaller nitrogen bubbles make it just not as sharp, not as, it doesn't have the same sensation as a carbonated beer, but it's just languid, smooth back of the throat stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. Then the extra stout, which comes in either 7.5% foreign extra stout in this market, or 5.5% extra stout in this market, is more carbonated. It's sort of a bit bolder in sort of flavour. A little bit more hop, a little bit more roasted barley. Different sort of dynamic, different drinking sensation. And you go global. If you're in Africa, we have foreign extra stout. 22 breweries making foreign extra stout in Africa. In Asia or Caribbean, you get a foreign extra stout. Where the drinking occasion is slightly different. You sort of pour it, take a longer time over a bottle, and let the flavour impact you. Sort of, rather the pint is bigger volumes and fast and furious drinking.
Okay.
So there's a few, but they're all same recipe, all the same brewing process. It's just the end product just tweaked slightly different to give you different opportunities for us and different sensations for the market.
And how long have you been a brewer for Guinness?
I've worked for Guinness for 27 years. So I started in research, a science degree, did a few years of research, got a bit boring with that, and didn't really like the sort of slow pace of research back then, very Dickensian back in the old James's Gate back then. So I moved into the production area where it was just like, magic. There's magic people, magic to be able to be part of the process of making the legendary Guinness Stout, and I just sort of fell in love with that whole thing. And you make it, you're part of the brewing team, you go out that night and you see guys drinking what you just made because couldn't get better. So I learned my trade. Then you learn it in James Gate. As a Guinness brewer, you only can learn how to be a Guinness brewer at the Guinness brewery. There's brewers out there, but then there's brewers, and we tend to give ourselves a little clap on the back for the fact that we've got this legacy of making fantastic beer for 252 years now. So yeah, I learned my trade, became a brewer, and it took 3 to 5 years actually to become a brewer as such, and then over 10 to become a master brewer. You do need to actually operate every section of the brewery to understand the science first of all, but then the art and craft. To be a craftsman of anything, you've got to, it's not just how to get from A to B or how A to Z and how to make it. It's the love you put into it and the knowledge that how this has to be more than just a creation. You have to believe in it and love it. So that's what a master brewer does. So yeah, it took that 10 years, and then I've earned my stripes then working for Guinness over the years in different breweries around the world and helping out in different sort of areas, but just love it. I love the role I do at the moment. It's even better than all that because you just get to see so many markets and countries around the world and talk about Guinness to people like yourself. Fantastic. And enjoy that, the people's interest in the famous brand. I mean, it's an extraordinary brand to talk about. Very positive feelings always come from the people who talk about it. And in fact, everybody has comment about Guinness. It's the beer that people want to talk about. You don't necessarily hear people talk about other brands, but there's always a communication about how was your pint, or where did you get a great pint. And Guinness drinkers are, they know where the great pubs are. Well, they know where the great pubs are. It's in their DNA to actually, if I'm, I need to know where there's a great pub because, at some stage during the week they'll definitely want to head down there. They certainly don't want to be disappointed by going to the wrong place. For the reasons of the atmosphere might be great, but if a bartender disappoints a Guinness drinker, he probably won't go back, and he won't go bring his friends. And you want people who understand beer to come to your pub. If you're a pub owner, you want Guinness drinkers, trust me, because they're the ones that know what it's like to go to a great pub. They understand the atmosphere, and they understand what the reward is when they get a great tasting, great looking Guinness. I mean, certainly after it's poured and it's crafted, and you see that creamy head being formed, and you just drink it with your eyes first. It's just a work of art, and then just magic to enjoy, and then the reward when you drink that extra.
You haven't been in San Diego for
Not too long. No,
but
just
have you found any good pubs yet?
yes. I've had just dropped into a few, just by hook or by crook. I just found myself watching a match yesterday. You know, watching a soccer game was one of the team. Brilliant, unbelievable. The pint was glorious. I was, you know, so happy. Just to I didn't go in and mention my name. I don't do any of that. I just wandered in as an ordinary customer. And, can I have a pint of Guinness, please? And it was just poured perfectly, beautiful. I'm just so happy with that. It was amazing. And I'm looking forward to going out around the town later on and, you know, to sort of see other places. And if the standards like that, then, you know, I'm just going to be so happy.
Good. Do you remember at what age you had your first Guinness?
Oh yeah, I think I might have been 21. I was in the legal limit, yeah. First Guinness, yeah. Oh, absolutely sure. I was working for Guinness when I was 21.
Was it love?
I know I look a lot younger. Yeah. Of course, absolutely.
It was love at first sip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, so when you're in the brewery, I mean, it's like, you know, you're in, you know, you're in the Magic Kingdom already. So I mean, it was just like there it was, like gorgeous.
Now, where are you based?
Dublin.
You're in Dublin.
When I'm home and not traveling, which I do about 50% of the time. You know, so which is very exciting, but it's also challenging. But yeah, I do love getting around the world and seeing all these different nationalities enjoying great tasting, great looking Guinness.
And what are you going to be doing for St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, I'll be in New York. I tend to be in New York for to communicate, you know, brand Guinness's awareness to the US media, and probably to have a look at the parade. And I get the opportunity to ring the stock exchange bell this year, which is kind of cool. Close down the stock exchange 4 p.m. St. Patrick's Day, which is personal honour, and it's great to do it. And I'll be talking about Guinness Black Lager and making sure that people realise we've got something new, and hopefully they'll rush out and try to find it, because I want to make it sort of, you know, demanding, so people actually go looking for it and enjoy it, because when they get it, it's just they're going to remark upon how wonderful it is. So it's going to be really exciting. So the more opportunities I get to talk about this, the better.
Very good.
But this time of the year, I mean, it's March. I mean, if you're not going to be you know, drinking authentic Irish product, then you really shouldn't be celebrating St. Patrick's Day. So, you know, I mean, if you're going out there, anybody in San Diego, I mean, they may have other green labeled products, but excuse me, we're the only one that deserves the purchase of it. You know, it's our saint you're celebrating. You know, so you know, but I find that distressful. Actually, so people can order something from, you know, Germany or Holland or something like that. It's like, or American beer on St. Patrick's Day. Why? Am I allowed to say that?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us.